apply. Okay. Hey, there we go. Now we've got audio. Get in. Now it's clipping like crazy. All that. There we go. We're on. I should have put some more effort into that, shouldn't I? Now I've lost the chat. So, tubers, what's happening now? I believe you can actually hear me. Just can't see. Oh, there it is. There it is. Peter is probably asking us how to fix the sound issue. Well done. Well played. I like hearing you talk. I hear there's less. I'd like to hear less of Jehu sometimes. Don't you own a PC? Yes, I do. Sound for a second. Got it. We hear you now. No, I can hear you. Excellent. Job done. Well, it's been nice talking to you, tubers. I'm out here, and I'll see you on the next one. And you watch my my viewers absolutely pummel. Anyway, what's happening? There is nothing here to talk about. Literally, there is nothing happening. What's happening in your guys' world? Spam the hell out of me. Show me some websites to look at or something. The volume is a bit low now. There we go. That'll be probably a bit high now too. The obligatory burp is in the house. I just turned it back up a bit, so you should be getting a bit better audio now, I reckon. It was too loud when I started. It was just clipping. It's still low, although there is a huge delay. If it starts clipping, let me know. Oh, now it's better. Excellent. Rightio. So, what is going on? What is happening? Tell me something that I haven't seen. For some reason, my live stream isn't working at my end, but that's fine. Better. Except it's freezing cold out here. It is properly cold. I've got the heater on behind me. I didn't even bother cleaning up for today. I wasn't gonna do a live feed, but it's too early to start working. Things look fine here. Welcome, Barry. Wherever you're all from, who have we got? Island Times, Arsenal Fantasy, John, Decimal Zero, Island Times, Sideband Samurai, Mark Phillips. Welcome, Mark's a regular for sure. Decimal Zero, all pretty much the same people. Wife kicked you out of bed. No, I tried leaving her alone this morning, and I left voluntarily in order to create peace and harmony within the household. Of course, that doesn't happen, does it? You still didn't do something right. You closed the door wrong, or kids made too much noise. You can't get that shit right. Boobs, boobs. Joe's in the house. Teddies. Now YouTube is going, boobs don't work, but average Joe's the moderator, so he doesn't get kicked out. That's the blood moon thing making. Where's my camera? I actually got up and tried to take some photos of the camera this morning. Tech for you, been waiting for a live stream. Yeah, I don't enjoy the live streams much anymore. I think it's just about me talking, and there's not quite enough interaction that I actually genuinely enjoy. So that's why I don't do too many live streams anymore. Really want to try and be part of the community rather than the head of it, so to speak. I guess that sounds dumb, but you know what I mean. Adam's DIY BMS versus Batrium. There is no DIY BMS versus Batrium. They both have their place in this world. They both suit a price point. They both suit a quality point. They both suit a market. There's room for everybody. Some people can't afford the Batrium. Some people can. What else we got? I've just got to say yes to a couple of teddies. Electrician coming in the morning to rewire the new transfer switch house in Atlanta. Mark, sounds like you're making some progress. Jared, Texas. I'm building my own laser cutter engraver. That sounds like a cool project. Don't throw your hand under there and say, is this working? Demonetized, probably, but you know, the $8 a day I make on YouTube, meh, and almost nothing that I make on live streams. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Should turn my phone off, shouldn't I? No, actually, doing my paid job is more important than this one. So if I get a paid job, I'm just going to put this on pause or something. You can have some of our heat, 28 degrees C north. I don't even know what it is here. It's nowhere near. It's nowhere near as cold as it was. I don't even. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's 14 degrees Celsius. I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit. Someone else can work that out. Old time engineer, what's up with the new shed? Let's talk about the new shed. I'm as broke as... I'm just broke. I got no money. So, not too much happening with the old Powerwall. Even the shipping container's been put on hold. Doing many new projects has just stopped because money's not there. Got to concentrate on paying the bills. You know how it is. Northwest Warrington. If there's anybody new in the room, type down where you're from, so I know where in the world you're from. And if you won a multimeter off me, or some TP44056s off me, I still got 2 people that haven't contacted me as those winners. So yeah, get all over that. A working Powerwall is about 9 different. How many do you want to build from scratch, Neil? Michael Neil. That's a very, very good point. You can't. Oh, I guess you can do it all DIY, but I mean, if you want to get it running, and let's face it, a well thought out BMS, like not doing it my way, a well thought out BMS for say a 30 to 60 kilowatt hour Powerwall is cheaper than the cell holders that you use. Are you still stripping laptop batteries? Yes. My Batrium shipped. Oh, awesome. How's the mining going? I've got mining rig there, got mining rig there, got mining rig there, and both computers are both mining as well. I'm only mining at the moment because I'm testing a whole bunch of cards because I've got some faulty cards in, and I've got to work out which ones are faulty, which is why I'm sitting here watching. There's a screen underneath the camera that's mining, and this one's mining while I'm live streaming. And that one, and there's Ethereum miner there, there's a Zcash miner there, and there is a Raven coin miner there, and there. So I'm still mining, but not very much. Not 24/7 like I used to, because my power bill went spastic. Am I still stripping laptop batteries? Yes, I am, and I'm about to really start getting into that again. I've just got to wait for some money so I can buy some more Opuses, because I've only got one Opus charger left. Discharger. My father wants a decent sized Powerwall, so I'm going to really get on top of that, and I'm going to build the best possible, best quality battery I can, so mum and dad can use that into their old age in one of their properties and not have to worry about paying for power ever again. They've just bought a property, so it's going to be a bit of a project. It's about 4 hours away from here. It will be on grid, but we'll try and be off grid a little bit. And there's lots of blackouts where they are, so yes, I am definitely still processing cells. Like last week, I've just started breaking apart packs in between jobs and trying to get stuff done. I'm trying to remain, what's the word, cost effective. So not neglect my main business anymore and really concentrate on Facebook group. I'm really trying to put some effort into DIY power, secondlifestorage.com, and in between all that I do cells. So J-Rock, hey Peter, Aaron, pay jobs are the best kind of jobs. No, they're often the worst. It's winter there. Yes, it is winter. Man, you look sick. I don't know whether that's a comment or a criticism, but shorts in winter. Yeah, but it's not that hot. It's not that cold here, and I got the gas heater on behind me, so it is nice and warm. Well, kinda. And it's washing day. You'll be able to see it's washing day by my inverter. Actually, no, you can't because it's shit house. I haven't got a monitor plugged in. You're still wrapping apart dead laptop batteries? Yeah, I think. Is there two questions of the same, or have I just missed a heap? I'm not bare feet. I've got flip flops on. That's not bare feet. Is that even okay? That is okay. Even Rome was not built in a day. This morning is 9 degrees to 26. Winter sucks. It's not so bad here at the moment. Like, we've had some really cold days, like really cold days, but it's getting better really fast. Like yesterday was a stunning day, but I'm still not getting enough power in a 24-hour period to even charge my batteries fully, which is kind of bad. I'm having to once a week turn the grid charger on. And I say grid charger because it's still coming from my other solar panels. But yeah, I've got to turn my grid charger on in order to charge my batteries up. But I mean, you look at the draw now on the old batteries, and let's make that into a size that you can actually see it. Transition. My batteries are fairly low in the voltage range. They're at 50 volts. I think I've got them set to turn back over at 48 volts or something. So the old battery, and to be honest, I've only got 30 kilowatt hours out there. The last 10 kilowatt hours I'm doing a video on, and have been doing a video for the past, I think I've been working on the video for 3 weeks now. That is, cell 44 had a problem. So I've been trying to work out with cell 44 whether it was a self-discharging issue, or it was an issue with the Longmon, or issue with the cell itself. And this is the very second cell that I put into my Powerwall. Well, the very second cell that was completed, and it's still running. So what I am doing is testing. It's been sitting. I've charged, discharged it a few times. I've left it sit for days. I've actually left it sit for 2 weeks now, testing for self-discharge, because I thought this one was self-discharging pretty heavily, but it turns out it's not self-discharging a great deal. I think it has gone down 0.05 of a volt in 2 weeks. So over 6 months, that's still a little bit of power going out of it, slowly leaking away. And of course, the next step is to finish the filming with this packet I got from Banggood. Another sponsored item, but shit, I didn't have the money to pay for it, and they want to send me shit, so I'm going to take it. So that is a iCharger, but I've got to open that on camera, not this camera. I've got to open it when I do this later on today and finish up that video. But what I'm going to do is, my very first pack that I ever did, I'm going to, with this, because that antimatter was just crap, let's face it, I'm going to charge and discharge once, maybe even twice, my first 7 cells that I put in 2 years ago, or 2 years and 2 months ago. So I'm going to test each one of those for capacity. I know I was going to do it with the antimatter, but antimatter flogged out before I can actually do that. So I hope that works. That's my plan. But there you go. I digressed. What do you use to check your 18650 capacity? Ever used a Lakota? No, I use Opus discharges. I've used Opus for 80% of my cells. That said, these ones here we tested with the IMAX, 1 cell at a time. So even though this one says on the back it's 23, 27 or whatever, they say 2300 milliamp hours on a lot of them. I'm adding 200 or 300 milliamp hours to that. Hence I've got 2600 milliamp hours up the top there, average. So That should be a good sell still. Because you get with the with every discharger you get different different levels, different capacities because they're hotter or cold or whatever else. Terry, Texas, power to spare is in the house. If you need any cells, hit Terry up. Actually, because Terry helps me out. Oh no, I lost everything. Where'd Terry go? Terry. Nah, it's gone. How can I have lost it? Terry, Texas, there we go. I'll put you as a moderator, man, so you can put your links up. Add a moderator. There you go, Terry, you can put links up now. I added you as a moderator for now. It'll be a short-term thing, but you're welcome to advertise. Help you get some more sales. He's got a jacket on, so it's perfect. Michael Neal, 5 years, all DIY. Nice. Paying for all that schooling kids sucks it out of you. Mine is still... schooling's not that expensive here in Australia. It's because we go public, we don't go private. So it's... I think schooling's like $200 a year or something, if that. Maybe more with school uniforms and whatever, but yeah, it's not that much. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Who knows? Did anybody ever find her? And the miners hear the room too. Heat the room, absolutely. I need to think of some ideas to do with 1300 to 1500 milliamp hour high amp cells. I guess there's lots of stuff you could do. I mean, you can still build a Powerwall with them. I always thought about using those high draw cells as the first 14S battery in my Powerwall, the one that the power cables go to first, so that gets the brunt of the capacity when, like, on the high amp draw, and then the rest go lower. That's how that worked in my head. What voltage do you recommend using a Powerwall? 48 volt, definitely. Extreme Fireworks. And there's Opus. Opus is a charger. Yep. So if you go to www.amazon.com/store/HBPowerwall, or is it DIY Powerwalls? I don't know. I don't know which one it is, but that one might actually show you the Opus that I use. It's probably the wrong one. They don't heat all that much at all. Makes a difference. Yep. It definitely makes a difference. My mining rigs in summer get so hot, but in winter they just run cold, which is fair enough, I guess. Opus charge, discharge. There we go. Thank you very much for answering that. Boom, average Mr. Joe. J-Rock. Last batch of batteries I brought up turned out to be red, saying it was blue gaskets. So hot on charging. Any experience with them? Yes, I see them and I no longer use them. They just go straight in the recycling bin. Or I sell them off or give them away to somebody else. Is the Opus the best way to go, since there are a lot of people using TP's project other than charge or discharge? Discharge, Opus is my favourite. Lots of people use lots of different things for lots of different reasons. I've had Opuses run for about 1.5 years, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's a good run. Now, I had about 8 of them and I'm down to 1, so they do fail, but you expect that when you run them that hard, right? To imagine if you left your car in the driveway running at 50% revs for 1.5 years, the thing would fail. Average Joe did another boom. DJ Stuff, hi to everyone here. Welcome. I was out your way the other day, Mr. Doolan, driving around. I had a bad day, got in the car and had the shits and started driving around to Lowood. Sat in Lowood Park for about 2 hours waiting for anybody to come and chat to me. Nobody come. That was kind of weird. Aaron E, I have a whole bunch inside my Powerwall, low capacity. They work great. Low fail rate with very little degradation. Oh, that's interesting to find out. I didn't think Aussie called them flip-flops. Don't you all call them pluggers? No, I call them flip-flops. Flip-flops. Cold, I would love to have plus 14 in winter. Okay, break time now, back to later. Thanks, Joe, for chilling out. Review not working, Powerwall for really a few hundred, really? Not enough for a Powerwall, a few hundred. That's still enough. You just make a smaller Powerwall, or you do portable storage system or whatever. Negative 40 degrees winter, no. That would make your nuts reseat inside your body. They would shrink beyond usefulness. How many kilowatt is your solar panel array? I have 10,500 watts of solar, 6,000 watts is on-grid, 4.5 is off-grid. Sia Joe, is it worth adding a wind turbine or a turbine? No, not for me. I've talked about this lots of times. One, price, silly. I could get one for free off Banggood. I have not been offered one. It's not practical. For me to get a wind turbine to actually work, it would have to be so high. I've got a school sort of 100 metres away from me across the road with massive tall gum trees, and it's sort of going uphill. So I'd need the bloody pole 100 metres in the air. You get above 10 metres, I think, and then the city council gives you a big fine. And it also needs to be a certain distance away from boundaries, people, objects, trees, everything else for council regulations. So a wind turbine has been thought about, not at all practical. Hashtag free shirt. Don't know what that is in relation to. Going back to the good old days, you had some epic long hair. I don't think it was epic. It was a statement that I probably should have never have made. But I actually like the long hair, and I'd go back, even though it doesn't look very good for YouTube, and I got this receding hairline thing happening, and I hate my hair. We've been through this many times. I remember the thermometers pegging at negative 47. Is that C? We almost never get close to that, and the thermometers don't go any lower. Bent the bimetal thermometer. Fahrenheit. What the hell is that in degrees? That's got to be some sort of crazy. The only way I'm going to work this out is one, Google it, or two, walk around here. So what was it? Negative 47. Negative. That's really cold. I just compared my little... That's freezing. I couldn't cope with that. I probably could, but I've never even seen snow. That's my thing this winter. I've got to go and get in the car and drive and go and see snow from somewhere. I don't know where. We know how much you like Batrium and the developer of it. What would you say still needs improvement? Improvement? I don't really know. Everything can be improved. I think the GUI is on point, but I am a Batrium fanboy. Look, Jaron has... There's not just a business type relationship with Jaron. It's grown to much more than that, where Jaron has picked me up a few times, given me a lot of extremely valuable advice, changed the way I thought about my Powerwall. He has been very influential, and as a result, I am very biased towards him and his products. Everything needs fixing, everything needs upgrading if you look hard enough. I know how proactive he is with the development of stuff in the back end. I'm privy to some of that stuff, and I know he was on top of a shit ton of upgrades. So I really don't know. Anything that I think that it needs improving, I just a message to Jaron, hey, what about if this happens? And there is a place on the forum where you can actually suggest things for future versions of the Watchmon toolkit. So adding more, I don't really know. I've got a Watchmon 4 up there that's not even hooked up at the moment because I keep pulling the bank apart and testing it and doing lots of weird and wonderful things to it. So I hope that answers it. I don't want to be unbiased because I know there is problems with it. They had a problem with the cables because the manufacturer screwed that up. That has since been addressed. He has all new ones in stock from a brand new manufacturer. Quality control is individually gone through them, I believe. But apart from that, I'll leave it there. I really sound biased when I start talking about Viburnum. Here, Terry, Texas, welcome. Awesome. Where does Terry sell his cells? I'm just getting started. Terry is in America. I'm not sure which part of America. I've never really looked. I usually stalk everybody that I know addresses of. It's kind of neat when people sort of tell you where they are all around the world and you have a look at their neighborhoods and stuff like that. I did that to Tom the other day, having a look at where he lives and the area that he works, and had a look at all the mountainsides with Google Earth all the way around him. That sounds geeky, but I like knowing where people are and what they're doing. Canada, Terry, so far I only have 375 watt panels. So far, that is a start, my friend. At least you can charge your cells for free and you have to pull from the grid. Sorry, only lower US. That was answered to somebody else. J Rock. Question's a different person. Please use Pete's affiliate link. Oh, you can always use my affiliate links. The top right of the forum, there's ads up there. If you keep refreshing the page, there's a bunch of ads up there if you want to support me or the forum and help me pay for shit. The bandwidth is going crazy, like 10 gig a day or something. Only US for now. Working on international shipping. Island times, okay, not very much up right now. Oh, there we go. I am so far behind, and I do sincerely apologise for that. If you're new to the room, type where you're from. On the IMAX, I saw someone hook up 16 batteries in series and run them and charge 500 milliamp per cell. Yes, I do it. Well, I don't know about 16, but I do that all the time. I get a big long charger. Where's me? I can't even see. There I am. I do that. You put them all in there. You hook up the IMAX. The IMAX is quite slow at doing that though. Hopefully the iCharger, I wish I could open, will be faster. Well, never saw you. I was the most likely at work at the time, but yes, hasn't changed much over there. Lowood has changed. Holy shit, Lowood's changed. I haven't been out there for 10 years. Lowood's changed. Lots and lots of interesting characters walking around. I have a wind turbine. It's better to have solar. Oh, there we go. First-hand knowledge. I walked home from the store in -47. It ruined my ice cream. I can't believe you'd walk in that weather. I mean, I guess a tourist would walk outside, have a look around and walk inside, but that's about it. A router and charger cell. That's a good way to start. It's a good way to learn, isn't it? Not enough sun in the winter, so no turbine. So no turbine had additional panels would take to keep the charge up in winter. Look, if I did my Powerwall better and I didn't get my my PIP inverters and got a hybrid inverter, I would be much better off, because I sell quite a lot of energy to the grid, and you know, that wouldn't be a problem with solar then. And I haven't got perfect angles on my panels either. They're pretty average for the angles that they're at. About 43, 40F is 46. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I looked on here. I didn't even realize that the 40 is at the bottom is the same thing. So that's interesting. Learned something new. Oh, noticed something new. Yes, there we go, Mark. Island times. I'm so far behind. During the cold spell in the 90s, sorry to distract you, but I need special gear safely to walk half a mile in a tent. I bet you would. Fernando, welcome, buddy. How are you, man? How's things? Traveling around a bit by the look of it. Or moving around a bit, anyway. from Malta. Kenneth, watching your due some time now, working on my check, but I'm lacking behind, can't find enough. Whereabouts are you from? If there's anybody that can help Kenneth out, let him know if you've got cells in his area. I want to build a wall panels at the same time rescue old equipment for emergencies. I guess I need about 5 days reserve here in winter. 5 days reserve is a lot of power. I can't get through 2 days lately because my batteries just are never fully charged. Even with only 30 kilowatt hours there rather than 40. It comes the weekend where we just use a massive amount of power, and it just, I almost hit stop streaming. Where's that transition? So it's, oh, there we go. I was reading it wrong. So we're minus, doing 40 amps from the batteries, and that's with the sun shining. Some of the panels have got full sun anyway. So that's the weekend. That's just doing washing and stuff. There they go. Just bounced back again. Pull them back down. And of course the yellow across the top that you just saw is the difference between the reads. So the last time the Longmon was red compared to the Longmon this time read, and that's the difference. So you can see whether it's, oh, you can't really see much from it, I guess, but that's what that yellow is on top. Many people have asked. So back to my ugly mug in the chat. Try not to get distracted. Oh, dude, you don't have to give it. Oh, thank you, brother, but you really don't have to. Have a beer on me. Love the community. Thanks, man. I think you asked a question to me on the forum this morning about doing giveaways. It's probably not worth it, man. Like I did in the reply on Facebook. You're better off buying your wife flowers, man. You'll get more from it. Trust me. It's really hard to make giveaways work, or pay for themselves, I guess you'd say, because let's face it, most of us YouTubers are trying to make some sort of living out of it. Island Times on Macleay Island, Queensland, Australia. Oh, admin at DIYpowerwalls.com, Island Times. I should come over. Come for a visit, or you should come over here for a visit. That'd be cool. I've never been to Macleay Island. I think that's fairly close. I'm in Brisbane. They go for 40 watt panels, Canadian Tire for KOD. So wishing that's really expensive for solar panels. Hi from Portugal. Started to build my own Powerwall and ready-made a working prototype is lighting my living room for ambiance. You got to say that right? I need some nickel strip for my e-bike battery. Didn't want to wait for shipping, so I found a local Powerwall builder on Craigslist, and he gave me some free. Great community. Oh, awesome. Define edits. It is a community, and I would like to see the community grow as a community, not as single tubers, so to speak. In particular, me, I want to be part of the community. I think that works a lot better. And I feel a lot better. I feel ethically better since I started taking that mindset. TS100, awesome combo with a drill battery and the relay and firmware. What's a TS100, dude? I don't even know what it is. I'll have to Google it. Hey, missed so many of these. What do you think of Jehu's PCB design Powerwall? I think Jehu's PCB design Powerwall is cool. It is awesome. I think the bill of parts is excessive. I think it's not a practical way to build a Powerwall to run your whole house. It might be a practical way to build a very small Powerwall. Extremely awesome idea, but for a big Powerwall, it's practically useless. It's just it just costs too much money, and it's not, for my liking, it's not DIY enough. It's not recycled. It's all new, and these things here are cheap. And they're getting cheaper. You can buy them bulk for not very much money. So I like the concept of it. I like the design of it. I like the execution of it. I like the printing of it. It's a finished product, but it's not DIY. Not by the true sense of it, I guess. There's no recycling involved or anything like that. Which is kind of where our community's heading. Trying to get stuff out of landfill. Not create more stuff that could potentially go into it. I want to run a 4 kilowatt for a month. How the hell do you run on 4 kilowatt for a month? You couldn't even run your electric toothbrush for that time. I'm trying to get manure thermic generator for a power source. That sounds messy. I need 10 cubic feet for X 60 watts. Wow, not really neighbor friendly. It would be, again, I think that's one thing that would be neat to know. That's a skill set that's probably being lost from the community as we all sort of, jump on the internet and don't do stuff ourselves. I'm doing good, thanks. I'm still waiting for my brother to install the BMS on my long batteries. Hope to have news soon. Oh, awesome, dude. How's the hot water module working, and how do you think you can make it better? Okay, so hot water module, my solar diverter. The only way I could think of making that better, and I don't know the logistics of this or whatever else, and I know there is some over in the UK that already do this, but you can do the diverting style ones. I know that's for the car charger. No, if I could possibly run from my batteries. Now, I have considered putting a 3-way transfer switch in so I can actually switch from the grid to batteries and actually heat my hot water, which would be really good when the power went out. I think it takes about 8 kilowatt hours to heat my water, a 300 watt system. So it would be cool to put a transfer switch in. That would make it more off-grid friendly, I guess, because at the moment it takes the power from the grid, so it needs to be directly plugged into the grid to actually divert the power from the grid to the batteries. But you could do it at night time with the transfer switch and do it from the batteries, but of course then I don't have enough solar, so then it's probably more efficient just to put in a solar hot water system. It just goes downhill from there. But what I can say is it's exceptional and it works really well. I still draw quite a lot of power. I draw about 20 kilowatt hours a day from the grid. This shed uses a lot in my day-to-day work. Evening meals every night for all the kids, that draws a couple of kilowatts. So, and I run miners pretty much all day throughout the day, because I don't want to actually sell any electricity to the grid. I want to use everything, because I only get 7 cents per kilowatt hour selling it to the grid, and I have to pay 24 or 25 cents when I'm buying it. So the solar diverter works really well. I run a couple of rigs, and then anything extra then goes in the hot water system, and there are weeks at a time where I don't put anything into the grid at all. Granted, I might pull out 20 kilowatt hours, but I don't put anything in, which I'm happy with. The TV repair has gone nowhere, and I'm still waiting to get the other one fixed under warranty. And that one there is the one that I was supposed to repair, and I really can't be bothered. So it's just there for looks at the moment, and I've got to take it to the tip and dump it. When I say tip, what I really mean is the recycling centre. Moreton Bay, yes. Brizzy, 36 kilometres away. Island Times, that sounds like fun. Tech for You, I sent you a message back on SLS. Thank you very much, Tech for You. I watched one of your videos this morning and I commented on it, but you've only got 4 videos and I didn't have time to watch them all. How much current draw can one draw through nickel strip? Do I use the same calculations as copper? No, you'd have to use, I don't know, I actually don't know how that works, but the resistance of all metals is different. Maybe you meant 4,000 kilowatt hours per month. That'll run a nice mining farm. It's a small 65 watt DC soldering iron. I can't remember who said 4 kilowatt hours for an entire month. Barry. I think you just did an LOL. Small 65 soldering iron, 4 kilowatt hours is 2. Yeah, that's a lot of megawatt hours. That's an awful lot. I really meant 4 kilowatts. You really meant 4 kilowatt amount. Wow. I know. I think that must be meant to be engineers. I was thinking about using a UPS inverter for a small power system module 12 volt. Do you have any ideas? Heads up, share. I think hit Average Joe's channel. Average Joe has done a lot of stuff on the UPSs. If Average Joe is still here, just Average Joe on YouTube, you'll see him. Boom. He does heaps. Or you can go back to my main channel, and down the side you've got Jehu and Lithium Solar and a bunch of other people that I watch every single time they release a video, basically. Down the side there. What's wrong, matey? I'm doing the low feed. What's wrong? Okay, we'll go back inside until it gets warmer, please. Little guy, go back inside until it gets warmer, please. Go. Okay, kids are coming around, so I'm gonna probably have to call it sometime shortly. I'll give it 20 more minutes. That'll round it out an hour, unless they start whinging before that, which is entirely possible. Anybody new here? We've got, what, 50 people in the room? Anybody new? You've got a question? I'm almost caught up, so it's a good time to get typing. A small power system, 12 volt BMS source. Twice. You skipped me twice. Where are you, buddy? Ask again. I can't read every single one. Only one question, and you skipped mine. Okay, where are you? I'm sure. I'm just gonna blame here. Oh, there we go. Hi, I want to make a Powerwall bank out of 18650 batteries, and I wonder what USB module I should use. Should I use a BMS in series with a BMS module? And I plan to use 12 in parallel. I've never really done that, but I mean, it stands to reason that you just pull one of these apart and use the little thing out of that. You don't need a BMS because it's all in parallel. Parallel? No, that's series. Why do you want 14 volt? Are you sure you mean parallel? And now I've lost your question. Your question's gone. 5 amp consistent in parallel. What voltage? What voltage are you planning on using? What's all NIF full wilder? I can't even NJF wilder. Sorry, I can't read it. It's too small all the way over there. I'm trying not to miss anybody. What's the lowest you take your 4.2 volt cells, and do you go all the way to 3 volts? Yeah, I've gone all the way lower than 3 volts. I don't intentionally do it. It's usually just because I've got a really imbalanced pack. Because as a lot of you know, when I built my pack, I really just tried to crank it out there and get it out there to YouTube land, I guess you would say. So I did everything possible in order to get it finished and get it done and get it out there. And that's biting me in the ass now. Well, no, it's not biting me in the ass. I just reduced capacity. So instead of a 40 kilowatt hour Powerwall, I've probably got a safe 30 kilowatt hours. I could go through and balance it all out and individually test every single pack and build it out again, but it's just not worth it. I might as well just leave it. It works so well for the average usage. It just works. So I won't be changing that. If I built it into a shipping container, I would take that chance. I would take that opportunity to build differently. And in fact, I'd probably just go 3 or 4, even 500p packs and just build massive bricks of cells. Would you recommend Batrium for an EV? That's where Batrium started. Have a look around. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Batriums out there on electric vehicles. They were designed originally for headway cells, hence the eyelets on the actual 18650s. I get 54 cents per kilowatt hour when I pump into the grid. I use AGM as storage on the house, but 4.75 in the van. I don't get an electric bill. Don't get caught. If you've got batteries that are on grid, you will lose your 54 cents in Australia. Mr. Island Times. Dave over at EV Blog, I believe he lives in your area. Maybe you can take your TV over to him and have him film and repair it. EV Blog is down in Sydney, I believe. He's about 1,000 kilometres away. And he doesn't like our DIY Powerwalls community, even though he talks about it a lot. Engineers, that sounds like horrible tinnitus, which is what I have. Thanks. I'm new. You're not new. You've been around for ages, dude. I am new. Is that a customer? I don't believe it is a customer. Give me a second. I'm going to go and open my gate. I'm literally going to walk down there, open my gate and walk back. That way I can make some money if I need to. I'm back. I turned the open sign on. Hopefully we didn't get flooded with boobs. Open sign is on. What else we got? I am new, I'm new sort of. Novice to ask. There is no such thing as too novice to ask questions, Snork, Y2K. One of the big things I did when I started this is I didn't ask enough questions, and I blindly trusted other YouTubers and things I'd read and all this sort of stuff. Ask questions. We are a community helping each other. Ask away. I haven't got all the answers. I guarantee you I haven't got all the answers. For fuck's sake, I get series in parallel wrong in every second sentence that I use. So ask away and never. Nobody should ever feel bad about trying to learn. But please do it safely. I remember that guy on the BBC giving the interview a few months ago when his kids barged in. Yeah. Oh, my kids barge in all the time. They're allowed to. Looking to learn about DIY A6 from van conversion. I want to do a van. Do you want to go electric, or do you just want to make it into like a camper van type idea? I want to do that. I would do it to my work van, but it's a work van. I have a little Holden combo. Shout out to you and Average Joe. Anthony from Kenya. Anthony, welcome, brother. Average Joe was on a lunch break and was here earlier, but has gone again now. For my van. Island Times, it sounds like I could definitely do something with you. Have a look around. I mean, it'd be, if for nothing else, it'd be nice to get my kids out of the house and come over there and walk around the island or something. I just have to retype the same question I get 50 times a day. Where can I get a lot of cells for free? What's up, mate? I'm on YouTube. How about you stay inside for a little while, and once I'm off, then we can do something. Okay? Okay, go. I'm doing a video at the moment on where I get cells from. I'm about halfway through that video. I'm halfway through doing 4 videos. I'm still doing this scooter, but I suck at electric vehicles, and I got a new light. Hopefully a new light will help some people out there. So I got a light so I can look heaps more attractive on camera, and I'll get all these little white dots floating around my face. I wonder if that does. Is that any better? Does that look better? That's terrible. I'll turn that off. God, now I just got all these little dots from the LEDs. I can't even see the screen. Retype the same question for 4.2 volts in parallel, Max Phillips. Yeah, I guess that's the same question we had about the charger. Hey Pete, have you had issues with your Longmont connections? No, my batch was before the Longmont connection, Craig. It is a known fault. It is a manufacturer's fault. Contact Jaron. And I think a lot of the problems with the Longmont cables were coming from the ring terminals. But I cut all the ring terminals off and sold it directly to my cells because I wanted to remove every single point of weakness that I could. 1S12P. Want to overcharge and discharge. But I want overcharge and discharge. Protection. Oh, well, in that case, you just run it through a simple BMS. You just get a 1S BMS off eBay. It like costs you $10 or less, I reckon. That's a clever idea. I didn't think of think of that. But you could use these discharge boards as well, because these discharge boards, if you bought a commercial power pack, these discharge boards would have protection in them as well, so they didn't overcharge or discharge. That's how I would do it anyway. Got to keep it cheap. Don't fight work. Isn't it cheaper to buy deep cell or DO? A deep cycle battery, I assume you mean deep cycle battery. Would it be cheaper? Yes. Would you have the same energy density? No. Would you have the same weight? No. Fire protection is absolutely at the top of your list of stuff when you're in a small space with DIY stuff. So on that note, you might be better with a couple of AGMs. AGM batteries are cheap. You can buy them anywhere in the world. So no BMS, no nothing, just plug them in the way they go. We have Batrim, just an outdated version of the Longmont wires. Yes, they look better. I haven't got any yet. I may ask for some because I still need 14 more Longmonts for there and 7 more cables. So I might reach out to Jaron and have a look. But of course, you know, he needs everyone he can get to help you guys out as well. The Longmont plugs into connection issues. 6 of my plugs broke at the plug. If they broke at the plug, yeah, I'm not sure because none of mine have ever broken at the plug. But again, I had a different batch, and the wires are very, very small, so you have to be careful with them. And the wires are small because they burn up when there's a problem, and they are a fuse. That's why they're so small. Hey, just put you wide to a program that's free called Homer. You can model different microgrids like yours, and how to make it better. You can model your appliances in your house also. Called Homer. I'll have a look at that later, Elon. I'll have a look at that later. See what it's about. I had problems with over discharge that were included with the USB model. Okay, in that case, just jump on the BMS solution then, mate. That's definitely sounds like the way to go if you've had problems. Bruno uses on his vehicle Batrim. Bruno is also a Batrim employee now, so Bruno does a lot of the. Well, I don't know actually what he does, but he does stuff. He works a few days a week with Batrim, with Jaron. So they're a 2-man team, and of course Jaron's wife, Geraldine. What is battery voltage for a split phase PIP setup? I don't know split phase. I am 240 volt here in Australia, so I don't know much about that. But I believe you would. I think you've got to get a combiner box or something, don't you, for split phase? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm not even gonna go there. Do you have any experience on wind, power, solar together? No, Dennis. We covered that a little bit earlier in the day in many other chats. I haven't had any. I haven't had even an introduction into wind. But I am sitting here thinking, geez, it might be fun as for a kid's project or something, and just stick something up and Just run a single cable into the house with a light bulb or something on it so the kids can see when it's windy outside or something. Who knows? There's plenty of different wind turbines out there that you can put on your roof and all that, but it's probably been a month since we had even any breeze, let alone a wind here. Updated the connections. Have you had issues as well? There are heaps of people that have had issues, Craig. There are plenty of people with problems. Got to get on times. You shouldn't put your phone number up there, brother. You'll have 60 people ringing you in 2 years' time when you're famous. Somebody will take that phone number down. I block my phone number on everything because so many people know it. Where are we up to? I'm really new here. Sub 2 days ago. Miles, thank you very much for subbing 2 days ago. You're one of about, I don't know, almost 2,000 in the last month. I don't know where they're all coming from, but there's a heap of new subscribers for some reason. Yes, several. I own electronics repair shop. For me, is easy to fix. They are very fragile. Yeah, they're deliberately fragile. They have to be weak in order to be strong. Does that make sense? You can't have something strong and mechanical if it's gonna be safe for electricity. Does that make sense? They're designed to fail, so the long one doesn't fail, or the battery pack doesn't burn down, or whatever. You short circuit one of those wires, and it's gonna disintegrate in a second, or half a second. It's not even gonna smolder; it's just gonna disappear. Dogs are useful. I'm not sure what that was in relation to, but dogs are good. Buffalo, New York. Welcome, Donald. Well, I am now. Live in Valley, CA. I've got to be careful how I pronounce things. I read stuff backwards sometimes, which is kind of odd, but I guess they call it dyslexia. I want to live in a van and make the van an EV. That'd be cool. Imagine if you could do a van with, say, 500, 600, 700, 800 kilometers of travel, enough solar on the roof so you could, you might have to sit on the side of the road for a month or something to charge the battery back up, or a couple of weeks. But that'd be neat. You could even go to caravan parks, drive from caravan park to caravan park, pay like $10 to $14 a night for a powered site, recharge your battery, and you're off down the road again. But I guess if the caravan parks, it wouldn't be very fair on the caravan parks. It'd be horrendously expensive on their power bill. Dogs are useful. Buffalo, New York. I want to live in a van. Has anybody thought of using supercapacitors in parallel at the same battery voltage to handle inductive loads? I think a few people have, Kenneth, I think a few people have played with that idea. Certainly not me. Island Times, message retracted. That's a good idea. I beg for my cells. It works, and now I have many. Look, as long as you don't annoy the shit out of people you're begging them from. I really took, when I first started doing this, I went about it the wrong way. I was a real prick when someone says, "Oh no, they're worth this much money." I'd tear them apart. I wouldn't just walk away. I was a prick, and I would happily apologise to anybody I was an asshole to back in the day. I really didn't care. I just wanted cells, and yeah, be nice about it. If they don't want to sell them to you, move to the next person and give them your money instead. I cut off my ring terminal but still had an issue with the 4-pin connectors. Drives me nuts. I've seen updated cables. They are now waiting to hear back from Jaron. Oh, good, Craig. You did reach out to Jaron. That's good. It's up to Jaron to fix that sort of stuff. I'm literally the only one getting skipped. I guess I'll just leave then. Dude, I'm not seeing your post. I literally am not seeing. I'm trying to read every single one. It's nothing personal. I've got message after message. The last message I got is I had problems with overcharge and with the included module, and I replied to that by saying that in that case you should be using a BMS. That's the only other one I can see there quickly. Yeah, it's nothing personal, dude. It's impossible to try and keep a hold of everybody. Do you solder all your cells or spot weld them together? I solder every one of my cells in production, including all of those ones are soldered. Are soldered. This is my only pack I have ever done that is spot welded, and if I should be honest, I'm pretty bloody chuffed with it. It looks sexy as all get out. It's tidy, it's nickel strips, and of course, you know, the perfectionists out there should be holding 12-volt terminals, but anyway. But that is sexy as all get out, but no, that has got no fusing whatsoever, and it also, I just love it. But it's built, this thing has been built as I will be building my father's Powerwall, from the standpoint that I'm going to be, I'll test every cell. I'll leave every cell for months, literally months, and just let it sit there, check for self-discharge, check for heat, obviously, and then, sorry, got the burps. And then what I'm going to do is build with the Repackr on the DIY on secondlifestorage.com, the cell builder. So I'm going to build Dad's pack as perfectly as I possibly can. I understand it's going to take 4 times longer to build it, and then I will actually spot weld it rather than solder it. Terry Tex is going to hit Pete off and pick up a new load of medical packs that I'm hoping to install this weekend. Oh, that's awesome, Terry. Thanks for tuning in, man. You can also use the TP parallel so you can charge faster. You also get higher current protection. You can add a USB boost converter to your set. That's a clever way of doing it for the charge, but not the discharge. And I guess the over discharge is fairly important with the USB bank as well, if that is indeed what we're still talking to. Looks like that is his electric scooter behind him. How easy would it make PVC blades? Put on a pole. You could definitely do that. This thing, I've got to do a lot of changes to this thing. Like, I really don't understand any of this. But so that's the rear wheel with the motor and stuff in it, but it's binding pretty hard on the frame, so I've got to actually take that off and put it on the front wheel rather than the rear. I was hoping to put it on the rear wheel, completely, what do you call it, for the kids, so they could sit there and do burnouts on it. And just smoke the rear tyre, because that's definitely, right, that's something that I do, right? Split phase pips use 2 units with parallel boards. They are specific models for SP. They share a common battery bank for 24 and 28 volt. There we go. I learnt something new. I have 4 phone numbers ending in 928. That's a cool story, bro. No. I need to get off my hands on some of yours. I just messed around. It would be awesome to compare the stuff I've gotten so far. Awesome. Hi from Portugal. Paulo, welcome, brother. Tech for you, thank you. I did a 150-kilometre trip on an e-bike yesterday to the lake and back. Parked up and set up solar panels to charge while having a swim, and then rode back. Oh, that's neat. How big were the power pack? How much room did the solar take up? Or were they the roll-up ones? Busted both legs. My brother will be charging his electric car at the caravan park for the next 2 weeks. Nice. You're the one above and below. Well, there was nothing. Sorry, man. There's nothing in between. Admin email address is going to be admin@diypowerwalls.com. How did the trolling motor? I haven't even tested the trolling motor battery thing yet, because it's been too cold. I have it set up. I mean, I don't know if you care. I have it set up in like a wheelie bin type configuration. I can plug it in. I've got it all set up there, and I was going to fill the bin with water and then do a load test. So I got it all in there like that. So I'm just going to fill it up with water and do a load test on it. But I haven't got around to doing that, and I certainly haven't got a chance to actually go out onto a boat and do that there either yet. It's got like 80,000 views or something on that video, so I've got to do a decent video to follow it up, probably sooner rather than later. That looks great, but I agree with you on one of your older videos, reversing spot welding as being pricey, not really in line with the ethos of being. Yes, definitely. And honestly, I can't personally see any degradation from soldering either. But then again, you know, I've been doing a lot of research on dendrites and stuff like that, and that could definitely be a problem, or it could accelerate that problem. Maybe not in 2 years, but maybe in 4 years. And maybe if you didn't solder them and you spot welded them, you might get, you know, 5 years out of rather than 4. I don't know. But a soldering iron is sure as hell a lot more accessible and cheaper than a spot welder. That's not to say that you shouldn't be spot welding if you possibly can, because I definitely recommend spot welding rather than soldering. Especially after doing that battery. Oh my god, that was so sweet. A bit pricey. I mean, I did see a spot welder at my local for around $300. No idea if it was good or not. Do not go the 788s. They suck. Go the 709 AD and the 220 volt version, not the 110. Even if you live in the States, if you go onto the forum, the top left, there is a link to a to a seller that will sell you a 220 volt one in America, and they will actually post it out to you. Everybody else, if you order a 220 and they see it's in the US, they'll send you a 110. But we found one supplier that will actually sell you the 220 in America, and they're cheap. They're really cheap. They're 220 or 230 US dollars. So, and that affiliate link helps me out. I get like $6, I think, from a sale of that, which I do appreciate. Off Alibaba or off AliExpress or Alibaba or something like that. Will we see your dad's pack build? Yes, I would like. Mum and Dad don't really want to be on camera, as you could probably expect. But what I might do is they're fixing up a house about 4 hours up the coast from me. So what I was hoping to do is drive up there every second weekend or something. Spend a heap of time up there helping them out, do all the, I guess you'd say heavy lifting, even though my back is screwed. So just lifting, we'll just reduce it to that. Mowing, whippersnipping, gardening, whatever it takes to bring the place up to scratch. Maybe do some videos up there or whatever. And I'll do a video of installing it and setting it all up and commissioning it. That would be kind of neat. Given that the house hasn't got any power at all at the moment, it's going to be a very interesting project because we can plan it from the very beginning, and perhaps we can even run, say, 48 or 12 volt or DC cabling through the house, and have dual lights in the house, DC and AC. And there's lots of possibilities there. It's got to be practical and make common sense, because it's going to be my parents' forever home to sort of retire in and put their feet up on the porch and watch the water float down the river. Entertaining to watch. Cheers, mate. Craig, off to hunt down some battery packs. Have an awesome day. Thanks, Craig, for tuning in. I have to consider that I have to go as well, so I'm going to start wrapping this up. I'll finish up these last questions. If you have any questions, rip into it and get them done fast. As soon as I run out, I'm out of here. Over distance. Okay, so the TP4, they must be the newer model ones. I haven't got any of the newer generation ones. The TP40, 50, are they 56 or 96? Or maybe they're just a new one I haven't seen. I'm in love with the batteries. I am too, actually. I like them sitting there. It's really good for my customers that walk in. Get lots of good engagement and customers talking about it as well, which is nice. It's a danger noodle nope rope trolling motor. How rare is lithium? Does it go away? Can it be recycled? I don't think lithium is very rare at all. I mean, isn't it like a derivative of salt or something? And there's salt, one of the highest things in the world. chemicals or whatever you call it. Solar panels are made from foam board for lightness. 3 packs, 3 AC pages, 6 sun power cells per 300 watts, 1 kilo. It's fit in the backpack. Oh, that's neat. That's a clever idea. But 300 watts in one backpack for 3 kilos. Damn, that's doing well. How many amps? Who can I talk about getting a BMS for a 48 volt golf cart battery pack? I have 8 batteries, no BMS with a 5 system. Just shifted from lead acid. You can do anywhere. There's lots of BMSs out there. I mean, naturally, I'm going to suggest Batrium. It depends on what batteries you've got and what voltage those batteries are. There's lots of questions. How long do you want it to last? Do you want a battery? Do you want to over discharge or overcharge or balance or all three? Lots of questions there, Oki. Tech 4, load test in a bin will not be correct due to water recirculation. It will give some load, but nothing near what will be in a lake. I was thinking the same thing too, but it's an easy test to do. It really is. And I haven't hooked the BMS yet to it either. Have you seen the Trek spot welder? It works for a 12 volt car battery. Yes, I've seen a few 12 volt ones, and they're bloody cool. And they're not that expensive either. Thanks for the tip. Read 220 spot welder. I'm Irish, but I do live in the US. There we go. I can run 220 at my shop, so no problem there. A lot of people, I believe a lot of people in America got 220 in their laundries for their dryer. I could be wrong, but I think Mike said that's where he gets his from. Mike, boys, it's been a while since I caught one of these. Yes, it's been a while since I've done one, and I'm almost done. So I've got 3 more lines to read, unless you guys smash me with comments. Lithium is common extracted from brine and evaporated and indefinitely recyclable. Absolutely, there we go. That's what I believed in my head, but I didn't know how to put it out there. Andy, thank you for that reply. Thanks for doing. I was actually working my way through your videos and noticed you were live, so I popped over. Glad I did. Have a great weekend. Cheers. Thank you very much for watching. Element. Yes, thanks, Mark. Thank you very much for tuning in, Mr. Smith. I do appreciate it. Andy, I always thought it was a metal. Element. Metal. That's an interesting conversation, I guess. Who's a good comedian over there? I don't know. I don't really follow funny people. I think I'm funny. Does that help? Hot water stove, AC and heat. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much, Tech, for you. And I have all caught up, and it is 1 hour, 14 minutes and 14 seconds that I have been live on this Sunday morning. No, it's Saturday morning, because my shed door's open and I'm working. Made more from here than I have from here. Anyway, tubers, thank you very much for tuning in. I am going to get the hell out of here and go and have a drink because my throat is killing me. I guess I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Thanks for tuning in. Even the old TV46 is great. I built a 10.8 chargeable. Neat. I'm out of here. Thank you, kids.